Hello, beautiful people, and welcome to yet another exciting episode of Tech Talk with Judy and Tricia. And today we are doing something totally different. We're not telling stories, enough of the stories. We are going to be telling you how you can even get a job. You can ace your interviews, your tech interviews, and we've got with us here HR professional, best at what she does, Ada Samuel. We'll come to the introductions later, but first of all, let me hype my audience. So we've got Roman here. Roman, just to tell you, we missed you last week.
Yeah,
The audience did not feel the same because you are not here. We are glad to have you here. So good evening, Roman. How is Lithuania this evening? Are we still 1 hour behind you? Oh, Dr. Vivian, hi. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And while we're trying to hype our audience, Tricia, how are you today?
it's been a very long day. You already know the backstory. But then, like we always say, we have to be here to give it all out for our audience. So I'm good. Today is good. Hi, Meg. I can see Meg.
Yeah, it has been a very long week for me. I have been, up and about and a very long week, but it's always good to, unwind Friday evening, do
Yeah.
the show, hear from. We've been doing stories, and the stories have been very interesting. But this time around, let's do something different. Let's teach how you can get a tech job. And yeah, Roman is saying everything is all right, thank you. Dr. Vivian is saying she's excited. Yes, we're excited to have you here too.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Okay, so now to our special guest, um, Ada. Ada
Yeah.
is, yeah, we're so excited to have you here. We know you're a HR professional, and we cannot wait for you to give us the, insight, because we've been telling stories, and it's not enough to just tell stories. It's, after telling the stories, how are we going to get these jobs, right? So we've got you here to be able to tell us how we are going to get the jobs, how those people who are looking to take that leap, who are looking to pivot into a career in tech, how they are going to get the jobs. So yeah, Ada, please can you just give us a brief introduction of yourself?
Hello, good evening, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you're joining from. My name is Ada Samuel, also known as the HR Lassie. I'm very passionate. I call myself the human centric human resource professional. It looks
Oh,
quite, I don't know,
Ambiguous.
it's
bogus.
too big. But I know why I put the human centric, because there's already a human before resources. Do you understand? But then it's on the emphasis of humanity. So I actually put that. So I believe that the greatest assets for every organization is its people. And so that's what really drives me. If we can get the people right, we will get the business right. So all I do is just to help professionals, secure jobs, then also help organizations to leverage on their assets, which are their employees, to get the best out of them. Judy, can you hear me?
We're here. Yeah.
Oh, okay, I can see you. Okay,
Yeah.
so that's who I am, basically.
Hi, Judy.
That's interesting. Very,
Yeah.
very interesting. And I like the human centric parts, because yes, it's not just about being human resources. I think these days they term them people 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 or something like that. I don't know
People
about.
freak
The
Yeah.
people
or
person. Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, and it's about, HR. Correct me if I'm wrong, but a lot of times people think HR are the, wicked set of people to give sanctions, to give, queries and all of that, sack letters. When you think of
yes,
HR, that's what you're thinking. But yeah, how
yes.
when you're doing interviews, what are you looking for in, the person, the applicant, when you're doing interviews? Let's not even get into interviews first of all.
Okay.
Let us talk about when you're looking into CVs. Now you've put out a job application out there. What are
Yeah.
the things you look out for when you're scanning through CVs?
Okay, basically, A CV is you. It's your e-copy, is an e-copy of yourself. That's what your CV is. So when I pick up of when we pick up, I'm going to use we because it's not just me, the HR, professionals. When we pick up that CV, we are looking for organization. We're looking for structure. And when I say structure, I mean in the way you outline your skills, your competence, who you are, your experience, and all of that. We're looking at it. And then because we've put out a job posting, it means we are looking for the keywords in our job postings in your CV. It's just like when
Okay.
you say keywords, I'll use the term SEO optimized. Because that's something we're very familiar with in the in the LinkedIn
Yeah,
community.
research engine.
So yes, searchable. So that one has a role to play with the ATS, which is the applicant tracking system. So if you put out a job posting and you're to send in your CV, let's assume I'm looking for a HR analyst, right? And then I say the person is going to analyze data, follow, check for trends, predict trends, diagnose and all of those things. And then your CV doesn't capture any of these words. You're automatically scanned out because we are looking for these words. That's why we say tailor the CV to the job. So we are not just looking at a list of words. We are looking for keywords first and foremost. And like I said, organization plays a role. So how enticing your CV is well structured and presentable makes me even want to go deeper. But if I just pick it up and it's already looking, shabbily done, it helps the processing even faster. So I just move that one aside and
So
get to the
even if
next
I've got the ATS and
one.
my CV is shabbily done, do I stand a chance if I've got
And
the
you may
ATS?
stand a chance, but like I always tell people, I said interview begins at the very first contact with you. So I don't need
Which
to
is
wait to see you because you've presented yourself. One, you're a very tattered person. If you're bringing a CV that's tattered, you're actually telling me that you don't pay
I'm not
attention to details.
organized. Yeah.
Exactly. So it's also you. Yeah.
So a
But then,
well
sorry
tailored CV.
to
Okay, go on.
no, I was going to ask, is there a particular style you look out for? Because I know that they always say that they have different styles for CVs.
Yeah, they have different styles and even country standards. Do you understand? They have different. But one thing that is basic with everything is that ATS CVs, ATS acceptable CVs don't have much of graphics in it. Do you understand? With all those, some people design it as if you're designing your LinkedIn pro. Don't you just? We just need the words. If not, the ATS doesn't really pick designs. So let's say you put your picture, put all these graphic, beautiful things. It looks beautiful and presentable, but then if it's going to go through the ATS, it will just read it as an error and move it out. So you need to keep it as basic and as simple as possible with the key highlights, your
Word, yeah.
experience, qualification, and all of that. Yes. And
So
most especially when you're doing those accomplishments, make it how do I call it? Like quantify it.
yeah.
Quantify your accomplishments. That's another thing. We look out for quantity. We do when you say, okay, I helped them increase their sales, don't just put it there. I want to see quantity from where to where. Where were they? Where did you take them to? Yes.
Okay.
Very important. I
Yeah.
think this
Or
has
Judy,
got to be an eye opener for everyone, for me, for because like I said, I
for
know a
me,
lot of people.
inclusive.
Yeah, a lot of people will put their photos on their CV. I, for one, I don't like it, but I've
Yeah.
always wondered, is it actually necessary? And now we're seeing it that the ATS will take it like an error, and it may even, disqualify
Yeah.
you. I hope
Exactly.
everyone is taking down notes. Yeah. I think everyone should take down note on that. Now, so a well-tailored CV, we've been able to establish that a well-tailored designed CV is very important when you're, putting out CV and of course putting
Yeah.
in the keywords. So what I'm hearing right now is that it's not enough to just have a good CV, like we have people who help you with your CV. When you get a job or when you're trying to apply for a job, you should be able to put that job spec and add in some things from the job spec into your CV. Wow.
Like it
But
has to.
when
It's so critical. It's so critical that if I were to advise, it's just like if I say now, if they say, let's say, I would like the person should be able to optimize our LinkedIn account,
mm-hmm.
and maybe in your own CV you say, I grew. I'd rather you change that grew to optimized. Is
Okay.
that detailed? Did you understand? Because they
Wow.
actually are the
Oh,
same,
yeah.
doing the same thing, but then if they've used optimized, just use the optimized. Because
Hmm.
do you
Because
understand?
those
Is
are the
that
search words.
exactly?
Hmm. Yeah. So I'm just also thinking because when we're advising, especially in our academy, if you're just joining us, we have an academy where we train people and help them to get tech jobs. And when we're advising, we advise that you apply for. In fact, if you can apply for 50 jobs a day, it's it's advisable to apply. How do you now start tailoring your CVs to, to match 50 job applications a day? That is a lot of work.
And that's why we have the AI.
Okay.
It's come to simplify everything for us. Like
Hmm.
we keep talking about, I hear people say, people keep using AI, people keep using AI. AI is the way to go. Even us HRs now, we are using AI.
Hmm.
I don't need to go through 1,000 CVs.
Hmm.
I just tell the AI to help me sort it, and it's sorting everything for me. I
Oh,
don't really stress
wow.
myself reading. I just give it an instruction of what I want to see, and it does that for me.
So when
So
you sorry to interrupt you, but when you're
yeah,
saying AI, you just put it through Chat GPT, or there's a particular tool that an
we
AI
have
tool.
different tools. We have
Okay.
different tools here that we use. You can also use ChatGPT. It all depends on the volume
Hmm.
of work you're doing and what kind of work you want it to do. So there are different kinds of AIs that you use to do all these things. In fact,
Wow.
that's one of the things I'm learning in HR analytics and AI. So it's like incorporating the both. So it cuts off
Wow.
a lot of background work.
Yeah.
So if you put in, so if you get that job description, you want to copy it into your AI platform. ChatGPT is great at doing those kind of things. Then you want to copy in, attach your CV, which is your current CV. You
Okay.
understand?
And tell
You're
you
going
to
to
tailor
attach
it
it
around it.
and
Yeah.
tell it to tailor it to this
Oh.
job
Around it.
description.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's going to actually do everything. So you can do as much as you want to do in a day. So it's not
Much
you just
savings are due.
exactly. So you see, the work is taken off you.
I don't know about
Yeah,
anyone
I
here,
understand what
but
you're saying, Ada, because I think I've actually had to do some of that. All you need to do is just take the previous one, and then what it does is you just tell it these are the roles, or these are like put those search word, and then
Yeah.
it tailors it down
You don't
to
even need
that
to put the
particular
search
thing.
word. See,
Mhm.
copy just the way they have put
even
that
the
job
job
Posted
description
the
out.
job
descriptions, yeah.
description.
Just copy it like that and put it there.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
just thinking right now? Yeah, I'm thinking that when you do stuff like this, you don't need to apply for 50 jobs because the one, two, three jobs that you apply, you stand a better chance of, being
Exactly.
called for the
Exactly.
interview. This
Exactly.
is such an eye opener
Exactly.
for me. And if you're in the audience here and you've found this, we've just been here 15 minutes and we've gone straight for the meet. If this
Yeah.
has been an eye opener for you, please can you just type eye opener? I'm just going to go through the comment section to see what our audience are saying before we go on. Roman is saying it's a good thing when the contact goes beyond just emails and starts with actual home tags stroke interview for the first interview.
Yeah.
Um, I'm not sure, Roman, if you want to give us some more depth into that statement, that would be helpful. May is saying hello. Hi, May.
Yeah.
And she's saying it's great to be here. Um, Roman is also saying free CVs should be sufficient enough. I've never used paid ones. So yes, there are some templates, free CV templates, yeah,
Yeah.
that you can use to be able to tailor and have a very good design for
Yeah.
CV. I absolutely agree. All things football says, why wouldn't you simplify your life if AI can make it? You
Like
know,
that's
I've always
it.
yeah, I've always known to take the job spec and ask chat gpt to get like a cv for you. But the one you've said right now, where you have your original cv and the
Mm-hmm.
job spec, and you tell it build a cv for me, that makes a lot of sense. And if ai can simplify your life for you, why not? Well, I've heard
Mm-hmm.
things about the ATS being able to know that this is an AI generated CV and it takes it out. I don't know how true that is. Is that correct?
Well, the thing with there's they have because of CVs basically don't really go through the plagiarism. If you're writing like how do I call it, academic
Like a
work,
term paper, like a paper,
yeah,
yeah.
it plays more role in the academic space because it's more of a research, is a research based thing. So it has to come from you doing the work and not what someone else has done. So
Mm.
when it comes to CV is almost generic. You can't say my CV is my CV. I don't know. Do you understand? Like if I have
Yes.
a job posting, the same qualifications I'm looking for in A, 1 million people
Is
have
what you're looking for in B,
exactly.
C,
So
and the
it's
rest.
why
Yeah.
would it take it off? And another thing, AIs are not perfect. That's
Mm.
why as humans we will have to go through it at least again. But then the bulk of the work has been done
Has been
to
done. Yeah.
correct even grammatical errors and all of that. And another thing again with AI that AI does is that it's a garbage in, garbage out tool, just like the computer. If you don't know how to prompt the AI, it's going to give you very shallow
Responses.
responses. So it
Yeah.
depends. So even sometimes what I do, because I'm also exploring the AI space, what I do, I say, this is what I want to do. Now I want you to generate a prompt. So I'm asking the AI to generate a prompt.
Give you the prompt that you use on it.
Yes, and
Yeah.
then I'll send it back into the AI. Yes,
Very
I'm
smart.
just exploring. Yes.
Mm.
So I tell it generate a prompt that will help me ask this in the
Mm.
most way that will get the deep in, and
Mm.
it
Yeah.
generates a prompt
That's yeah.
and I send it back to it and then it gives
Yeah.
me the answer. Yes.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
insightful, insightful. I am totally blown away. Thank you, Ada, for that great insight. And
Yeah.
yeah, for anyone who is listening and did not know that you can actually tell ChatGPT, give it the questions, or tell it to tell you the questions for you to
To
ask it.
ask.
That
Yeah.
is what you can do. Yeah. So Roman is trying to give us more insight to his earlier comment. He said, "What I meant was that when the applicant actually gets homework tasks or gets invited to an interview, instead of waiting for an echo to come or an extremely vague AI generated like rejection email." Hmm. We will get to that part where you have like an AI generated rejection email. Yeah, we will get to that part. But yeah, I wanted
Mhm.
to ask a question, and I may
Okay.
be wrong. Yeah. But sometimes when you see these job specs, you wonder, this is it just copy and paste? Because sometimes you see a job description, you're applying for jobs, right? And you see this job description and they want you to do this, they want you, especially for tech jobs, they want you to do Java, this, like more than five programming languages. But you are just applying for a junior role. What is the correlation? Because sometimes when you even go for the interviews, you realize that they're not even asking you anything based on what the job description was. Why do they do that? Because I can see that it scares a lot of people from even applying. Yeah,
Yes, it does.
tell my people, don't be scared, just apply. As far as it's something that you have, like, okay, let's say for instance a data analyst role, they've put in for a data analyst role, but the specifications they're asking for is way above what you can do. Just
Mm-hmm.
apply, because you may go for the interview and they are not even saying anything about the job. Why do they do that? Is it a way of sieving the people out?
Okay. Since we are into secrets, let me spill it
Yeah.
so that you know it's not nice. Okay, let me tell you. The first thing I'll say is if you see a job description and you meet at least 50% of what they're asking for,
Mm,
you should apply to that role.
mm,
Yes, it's a gamble thing. Now, most of the times we know we can't get all of this in one person. So we're just looking for, like it's a skill thing. Okay, if we can get 70, if
mm,
like, So why not just put it out there? What if we get what? But we also know it's a gamble thing. So if you
mm,
have 50% and you have 50% of the qualifications, or you can do 50% of what is on that thing on the job description. Go ahead. You stand a chance to apply, because one is that if you have an open mind, you can learn. If you're a fast learner and you have an open mind, you will learn most of the things on the job. Most times, even these offers, they train you, they onboard you with trainings. Do you understand? They really don't expect you to know how to do all these things. That's what I'm telling you. That's why I say if you have 50%, go ahead. Just shoot your shot.
This is a secret. And I would
Yes.
say, I would
Shoot
add,
your
let me add, yeah, as someone who trains people, if you feel that you know 50% in your heart, you just believe that I know 50%, even if you don't really know 50%, please apply for the job.
And you
My
can
mentor,
defend that 50%. Apply. Yes,
yeah,
please.
yeah, yeah. Because a lot of people I know have gone for interviews that they were not even asking of that. I personally have gone
Yes.
for interviews that
Yes.
what they're asking me is how is the weather over where you're at?
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
just imagine if I didn't take a
And I'm
chance to
sure you
apply.
over prepared, right? You over
Yeah.
prepared. Like you
Hmm.
read, you know.
You
Yeah.
know? Yeah. Yeah. Now
Yeah.
let's come to interviews. Okay, so when we are
Sorry,
doing
before you go on,
interviews,
I was going to talk about cover letters. Do you want to talk about
Okay.
that? Do you want to throw more light on it?
Okay.
Cover
Cover letter
letters.
is more
Do
like
they have
a
like
story.
any? Do they have any? Do you? I know some people will be like when you apply for CVs, also write your put in your cover letters. Do they make any difference?
they they're all, for me, every part of, if they ask you to give a cover letter, give it well. It makes, because like I said, every contact with a candidate is, you're already interviewing the candidate. If you notice, there's a post I made some days ago. I was recruiting for a firm for an executive assistant, and so I had to send out like an online skill assessment test on, is an Excel, test, and a Word document, just to see their proficiency in those things. And then some series of questions that had to do with, communication skills, how to respond to customers, and all of that. But then they did the work, like the major task, they got it done excellently well. Because even in that task, they had to write an email, they had to do a voice note of a phone call, that kind of thing. They did it excellently well. However, when they submitted the task they had done, the email, which was the cover letter, which I had instructed them to put, maybe I said, put subject, your name, do this, like I had given instructions on how to send that work back to me. But most of them did not do anything. In fact, some of them tagged their tasks as Lagos something something. So do you understand? Now,
yeah,
those are the little things. Now you're an executive assistant. Number one skill you should have is attention to
to
detail.
details.
You can't send an email to your client and you're saying, "Hi, sir." You don't use the word "hi" because he's not your
Not,
counterpart.
yeah.
Exactly. That's not the
That
professional
is it. That
language.
is
But then you
no.
saw them saying, "Hi,
I
hi."
would have to disagree with you on that. So it depends on, and I know you're the HR expert, right? But I
Mm-hmm.
still do not fully agree with you that say if I say hi to you, it depends on where you are. If you are in Nigeria, maybe you expect them to say good morning, ma, or good morning, sir. But if you are in the Western world, hi would suffice.
I beg to differ, Judy. I
Okay.
understand what Ada is saying
Okay.
because
What I'm
what she
saying is,
meant is it's not a formal gathering. It's not we're not in talking terms before now. Like
I've
if I'm
never
sending
met
to
you
academic
before.
advisor, I'll always say hello, except I'm
Or you say,
continuing
"Yes,
a
sir." Just use the
conversation before.
official, I
Yeah.
don't know. Just use the
If I'm
official
continuing a
opening.
conversation before, I can say hi. But if I'm addressing, I don't know, maybe it's me, but I've actually had that back home. When
So
I'm
just,
starting,
for me, I'll just
I'm
use the
writing
official
an email.
opening.
I'll always say
Yes, sir.
hello or dear or something. That's it.
Exactly.
I think a lot of people need to do more work on emails because you should know
Yes.
the difference between formal mail and then
And
like,
in
yeah.
exactly. Exactly.
Except you're
Yeah.
starting a conversation over, that's when you can do the hi something. But other than that, I beg to differ. We
Hmm.
should these
Okay.
little things are the things we should put in check because for
Yes.
as little as there was a time, and I'm sorry to cut you. There was a time there was a tweet that went out on Twitter about somebody saying something about the mail she wrote to her boss or so, and then the person was saying, how would you address me this way? I know in the Western world, we tend to want to say, okay, the Westerners, but proper is proper, right is right, courtesy is courtesy,
And you can never go
regardless.
wrong. That's
You
the
can't go
truth.
All
wrong.
right, yeah. So yeah, I quite agree with you. But would you, because of somebody addressed you as hi Ada or hi Ma, disqualify the person from, even if the person is qualified, one of your best candidates, but the person addressed you as hi Ma, because of that you disqualify the
But
person?
really, that's the beginning. That's what I told you. It's a beginning. Assuming I have 1,000 CVs, I just put hi. I'll just fling that one aside. Like, you don't even get to the next stage. That's what I'm saying. You need to. I'm telling you the real truth, because let's assume I get in 1,000 CVs, and you're already giving me a chance for me to throw your CV out. So why not
Very little
position
thing can
yourself
do
to
courtesy.
stay through the processes and nothing knocks you off? Let it be that you face the panel, and at that point you've been knocked off. But when it's cumbersome with a lot, any little thing can kick you off,
Yeah,
because they
yeah.
don't get to experience the person. At that point, it's
You're looking
selection.
for something to reduce the number of people.
Exactly. Do you understand? Exactly.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
yeah.
Somebody, I have a supporter here. The person says, I disagree with you. In the Western world, hi doesn't mean anything. You can say hi to
No,
anyone.
we're
You
not
can say hi.
disagreeing
Let
on
me,
that.
you see the problem.
I'm not
Ada,
disagreeing.
Ada,
It
sorry, Ada,
works.
sorry.
It
Ada, let me
works.
say something, sorry. You know the problem with us Nigerians, we tend to want to overdo things. Do you understand? When we
Yeah.
pick up habits, yes, when we pick up habits, we want to tell you why it is
It should be.
justifiable.
Mm-hmm.
There
I
are
will
things
still,
that people
I
do
still
that
stand my grounds. Yeah.
you can say that because, like I
Mm.
said, I will not. Somebody I'm writing to the first day, I won't tell you hi, I'm sorry. I can say
Yeah.
hello so or dear so. And there's something people do also. I don't know if you've noticed it, that sometimes you tell people, write an email, use this as the head, like what
Subject,
you said,
exactly.
subject matter.
Yes.
Yeah.
People, mail, email is something we need to talk about as a HR
There's
person.
email
I think we should
etiquette.
address that
Yeah,
part.
yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is that while I quite agree with you that, yeah, why I still stand my ground that hi in the Western world does not, I don't think anybody's going to fault you
To
for saying hi
query you,
to
yeah.
them. Yeah, I would still buy the idea of you saying that, okay, you want to be as, lovely as possible from the beginning, so you're not already kicked out. So you want to, even if it's not the hi, even if it's just the way take the
But
telephone
Judy,
conversation
let me
and
add
all of that.
something to that. You know that for every area, there's something called a cultural awareness. So
Mm,
you should also be conscious of that.
mm,
There's something called cultural awareness. It's like when you go to the Rome, you become like Romans. So if you're in
mm,
Nigeria and you're saying hi, it may be considered as disrespectful because it's a cultural thing.
mm,
So
mm.
consciously or unconsciously is going to play a role. So why
It's
not
going to
just,
be,
do you
yeah.
understand? So if you go to the
It's just like
Western,
wearing native to work on the Monday. They'll be like, who does that?
exactly. Nobody
Remember,
goes,
I said there was somebody that came in for an
yeah.
interview and it was like, tell me about yourself. He said, my CV is with you. Girl,
Yo, you see?
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, and I quite agree with Victoria. Victoria has said this is lively. Yes, it is. It's bringing out a lot of discussions.
Yeah.
And for me, I've got to learn because, on the normal day, I would just say, hello, hi. But no, it is Demba. And Robert has actually said here that keeping the etiquette is very important. Familiarity is a turn off for most people that you don't know personally, like what
Exactly.
Tricia has said.
Mhm.
And the standard greeting should be dear,
That is it. Just
Mr.
keep to the
or
standard
Mrs.
for safety
Mm,
purposes.
yeah. And Roman so to say, since we don't know whether it's a Mr. or Mrs., I think honorable would be exaggerated.
Me, usually, when I don't know if it's a Mr. or
No,
Mrs., I can just say, dear
sir could go
HR
for a
team.
man or a woman. It can be generalized when you use the word sir.
Okay,
Yeah.
Yes,
really?
yes. Or you
Yeah.
just put the
Or you
hyphen
can
and put
speak to a
man. But if you
team
say
or
yes, sir,
something.
it can go. It can go for the two
If we
genders.
use
Yes.
to whom it may concern.
No, no, no. No,
Mm,
especially job postings always have where you are sending it to. So you know who is it. You may not know their name, but you can use
yeah,
the title. Or you can say,
okay.
So
dear
is it fair to
recruiting
say that?
manager, dear recruiting manager, dear human resource manager. You can use the
Yeah.
job exactly the job title.
Okay.
So is
So
it
don't
fair
Okay.
say
to say
civil
that
immigration.
sometimes is
Mm.
it fair to say that sometimes when you get called in for, or when you're doing like a job search or something, go find out from the company who is in charge of the recruitment, whether a male or a female or so.
Well, because we are
Does
on
that
LinkedIn
also
now, it
work?
makes
Does
it
that
easier. You
suffice
can find
also?
that. You can do that. You can do that if you want to. And now we're on LinkedIn. It's easier to search for people and their positions.
Hmm.
Do you understand? So
Mhm.
Yeah.
it's easier. It even makes it you even more comfortable during the interview. You can even read about them.
Sometimes, yes, sometimes
Yeah,
they will even, put who is going to be interviewing you. But there's
exactly.
this hack I saw somewhere, and the hack was like, okay, when you put in your CV, because there are lots of people putting in CVs. So you put in your CV, they've not gotten back to you. You can always write to them to say, I have put in my CV and I would like to be interviewed. What do you think about that hack?
Yeah, that's called a follow-up. It's allowed.
Okay.
Okay, so
It's
if you as
yeah.
a HR person sees that kind of email or something like that from the applicant, is it a turn off for you, or do
No,
you
it shows guts because
okay? Would you book
very
the
few
person in
people
for
do
an
that.
interview?
If I have to, if I'm still looking for that, if that position is still open, why not? And I see
Hmm.
that you have one, yes, why not? Because it's guts.
Yeah.
Nobody does, even a simple follow up after an interview, 99.9% of the people don't do it. Yeah.
99.9% of people don't do it, but let me just give you a real life experience. So, in my company, we're interviewing for a role for a developer, and the person who we did the interview for, after the interview, she sent an email and she copied all of us who were parts of the panel, and
Okay.
it was a big turn off for my manager. That was not why she didn't get the job, but it was why she sent it. If she wants to send a thank you, email, she should have sent it to just one person. But sending it to everybody and copy, yeah, it was a big turn off. What do you think about that? Is there any
Well,
special?
personalities will still play a role because
Yeah.
how I react to something is not how another person will react to something. So for that, it depends on whoever is involved in that situation to know if it's going to be a turn off or not.
Mm. So you cannot say it's not cast on stone,
No, it's not
uh,
casting.
but
No,
just yeah. But
it's not.
it's a good thing for you to be able to send like a
Of
follow
course.
up email.
Or
Okay.
even a thank you for even the interview, a thank you mail. You're supposed to send a thank you mail. It just makes you memorable. Do you understand? Imagine you interviewed 10 people and only one person. You know, when God said, sorry, I'm going to reference the Bible. You know, when the lepers, the one that came back to say thank you, he
Mm,
became whole. So imagine
mm,
out of all the
Yeah.
interviewees, and you send a thank you
It
for the
stands
interview.
out, right?
You stand, yeah, yeah,
Mm.
it just stands you out.
mm.
Okay, yeah.
Hope you people are writing these things down, because I wouldn't lie to you. I'm guilty of that. I never remember to say thank you when I do an interview. Once I did the interview, Jesus said, I put it in your hands, go. And I forgot to actually, send that thank you email. So I'm taking down notes, and hope everyone is taking down notes also, because it's very important that, we have these little things that we do. It could just make you stand out from, you could just be two people that are contributing for the role, and one person does this, the other person doesn't do it. Who are you going to take, right? You take the person
Mm-hmm.
that, yeah, because it just shows your work ethics, and this is
Yeah,
the kind of people who like the person who like to have in our
exactly.
team, and all of that. Yeah. Roman is asking, can you comment more on ghost jobs or
Goes
repost jobs that can
like I
sometimes hang
said.
on for months, and then you try to apply, you definitely receive no response? I'm
So
not
when you say,
sure.
I'm not sure I understand ghost jobs or repost jobs. Is it that you go for an interview and they don't get back to
I think,
you? If you can clarify, because
no, I
at the end
think
of it, it says you
if I'm
definitely receive
right,
no response. Is that it?
if I'm
Yeah.
right, Roma, you can correct me. I think some jobs that they put out there expires and then they don't bring it down. Then you get people that keep applying for these things and they don't get a response. I'm guessing that's what he means, but then
Okay.
I'm sure he
Then
will
that's the
say.
fault of the hiring manager. Because once an application closes, like you put a deadline, it should be taken down.
And
So
what I would say about that also is that when you're
Mhm.
looking at jobs, yeah, and you see a job 7 days ago or 30 days ago, why are you applying for that job, right? Most likely they have, finished
They
with
have
their application
exactly.
process. Yeah. Yeah, but there was this colleague of mine who I was speaking with, and she's been looking for jobs, and she told me, okay, I was like, okay, there's this job. She was like, most of these jobs are, she should call them bots or AI. I don't know how she explained it. Are we getting that now where you just see a lot of jobs, you see a lot of job applications or job openings out there, but nobody's getting back to anybody? Is this something, or is it that the market is just saturated and maybe you
I
don't
think
pass?
sometimes, like I've applied, done a job application, right? And it wasn't a job application, it was a networking, these network marketing people trying to
Yeah.
recruit for whatever. So
Mm,
sometimes we have those kind of things in that, posing as jobs. So
mm,
it happens. So the link had to take me to a WhatsApp group, and I was
mm,
like, why would it take me to a WhatsApp group? There was no like
mm.
application form. There was no attach your CV anywhere. They said if you want the job, come to. So I just knew it was not real. Do you understand? So I had to. So sometimes those people use those gimmicks to get people on board their platforms. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so Roman is saying what I meant was the application that hangs on for a long time. After expiration, gets reposted, and when you apply for it, you get no response. I'm sure they've gone off with their hiring process, but you can throw more light on that for us, Ada.
So he says you have applied for a job. It
Yeah. Oh, let me
expired.
put it down. Yeah.
Right? Let me read it. Say what I meant. The application hangs on. That's you apply to a job after expiration gets reposted. Does it mean they have interviewed? Because if the job is still running, like the job posting is still running, because he said it had expired, it means they had run it for the duration of the job posting, right? And
Yeah.
probably they didn't get maybe their fit for the post,
For the
and
role.
so they're running it a second time because until a job closes, until you get somebody.
Mm.
Yes. So I think that's what happens if they didn't get the right person, but the truth is, Romanus, most job, legit or no legit, sometimes you apply, they say they're going to get back to you, they never get back to you. It's also a part of we are to blame.
Mm.
We are supposed to actually give feedback to every candidate.
Hiring
Just the way
manager.
we sent and they sent in applications, we should send out what feedbacks. So it's a HR lapse, yes. So we are to blame for that. So if you're not getting a response, it means the recruiting manager did not finish the cycle of that job application because it's
Mm.
a life cycle. When you're done, send out feedback and all of that. So we apologize.
Okay, well,
I
before
think,
we go on, please, Judy, let us go and sell our market before they will throw us
yeah.
out of the studio. So, if you're enjoying this, is brought to you by Transition to Tech Academy, Tech Talk Show, and we're pleased to have Ada Samuel with us. She's just giving us back to back, back to back, back to back. So, feel free to follow us on LinkedIn, Transition to Tech Academy. On Facebook, we're also Transition to Tech Academy. We help you transition from non-tech background to tech background. We're also on Facebook and YouTube. Also, feel free to reach out to our host, the Tech Queen Judy, if you want mentorship or you're
Yeah.
looking at going into any of those tech career. We have software testing, data analytics, project management, business analytics, and a whole lot of other. But Adam, we're coming back to you, please. Are we
No,
doing our tech talk today? Let us go. Hashtag tech talk. It's like my mother says she wants to do giveaway today. My mother wants to do giveaway today. Please, if you're among the audience, drop it down. Romuald has written hashtag tech talk. Hashtag
Hashtag
tech talk.
tech talk.
So over
Yeah.
to you, Judy.
Hashtag Tech Talk, hashtag Tech Talk. If you're joining us from YouTube, from Instagram, from LinkedIn, I think we have just got a lot of, LinkedIn people here. Sorry, YouTube people here. I'm not sure. But if you're joining us from YouTube, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like and comment and share. Yeah. If you're joining us from Instagram, hashtag Tech Talk. I can see a LinkedIn person here putting the hashtag Tech Talk. So yeah, let us get this giveaway. What is our giveaway for this particular episode?
Okay, we have a pub for 50,000 naira, 50,000 naira pub, and then we also have data. So it all depends. If you're not going to take up the pub, wow, so nice. My boss, Judy, tech queen, she's so nice like that. If you're in Nigeria, we get to give you a data because we see that data is very expensive now in Nigeria. So we're nice like that.
Oh my God.
We're so nice like that. But that being said, we have 50,000 naira pub courtesy
Voucher.
of voucher,
Afriland.
right?
Yeah.
Afrilang. They are
Yeah.
so nice. One of our co-sponsors from behind the scene. Don't
Yeah.
worry, look out for this space. We still have more co-sponsors that are bringing goodies your way. Over
Yep.
to you, Judy.
All right. Yeah. So lovely talk, lovely conversations we've got going on right now, and it's really, really, insightful what I'm hearing. Um, I am going to put it into practice. I'm going to tell my academy people to put it into practice too. And yeah, I just want to ask before we go on with the questions, do you offer HR advice to people like maybe CV building? Do you do stuff like that, Ada?
Yeah, but I'm not.
Okay,
Yeah, I do that through my platform. I do it, and
okay.
then if you have anybody who wants to do it, I could assist. Yes.
All right. Okay. So I'm just gonna put
Let's
your
put our name up. Yeah, so
yeah,
that when it comes to
yeah, please.
Adami, I
Okay.
want to ask a question when my
Okay.
madam is
Okay.
it's about interview. Judy, are we moving to interview part
Yes,
now?
please. Yeah.
So I'm going to ask, right? When you have like your panel of people that come
Mm-hmm.
in that have that are supposed to take up this interview, and then you have one of the person you're trying to interview coming, what's the first thing you look out for? One. Two is if, for instance, you feel like in the course of interviewing this person, you see that this person probably has an idea of what he or she's saying, but it's fidgety. You know that cold feet you might have. The first is
Mm-hmm.
how do you help those people have a soft landing?
Okay. So you said the first question is how do you see
What do
the
you look out
interview?
for?
What I look out for when
Once
the
the
candidate is
person comes in, yeah.
first of all is the appearance.
Mm.
Yes. For a physical interview, how you look, you know. They say you need to dress as you want to be addressed. It's still very valid till today, I must say. It's still very valid. Now, before you go for an interview, the first thing you want to look out for is you need to know what is applicable in that space where you're going to. Do you understand? Now, you're being interviewed in a bank. You can't come in with a rugged jean and a t-shirt. And because you have the knowledge, which is the knowledge of the banking job, and you dress in that way, it just shows that you may be a job fit, but you're not a cultural fit.
Mm.
Because and then you have a dread, in the bank, no matter how good you are, you can't carry dreads. You
Mm.
can't
Oh,
yes,
really?
you can't have beds. Yes.
Wow.
Yes, it's something that is you just check around. I don't know in the Western world, but here in Nigeria, you can't have dreads. You can't have
And
like
have
in,
beds.
no, you can't have it.
Wow.
Yes, it's part.
Wow.
So that's
You
why.
learn every day.
So it's is a. So that's what we are looking at for. How do you come in? How do you look? And then also we're looking at your confidence level. Do you
Mm.
understand? Because the way you walk into it's not all about technical skill. Most times we miss it. We prepare for likely questions. Like, do you know, I've entered an interview and they didn't ask me any question. In fact, we were gisting.
Hmm.
Mm.
It was just like a chit chat. Like they didn't ask any,
Technical
interview.
question.
Yeah. So that's what we're looking for. And then, so you said soft landing.
When they are
This one,
fidgety.
yes, this one is a work in progress. Like I keep saying, ideally, this one is. I keep referring back to personalities. However,
Yeah.
there are standard practices. You see, there are two things. There's a personality playing a role, and then there's standard practice. Most times, our interview sessions are like lions' dens. The way, even the way you are staring at the person almost wants to pee in his pants because it's like, and the way you're even asking, hey, what is your name? Very, you
Stern.
can, so it depends on how you receive the person. So now imagine someone is walking into the room and you're smiling as the interviewer. I don't know who gave us the notion that because you're an interviewer, you should be all squeezed up and serious. Okay, sit down. Do you understand? Like, what do you expect? It's just like you talking to a child and you're scary. The child will run away. So you don't
Yeah.
expect me to be calmer. So it's the vibe you give out that the interviewer will take. So if the person is coming in and you're smiling and you're saying, "Oh wow, you look beautiful," I'm already giving you a soft landing because I'm complimenting you. So you notice that your shoulders will even drop a bit because you come in all shrugged up and like, "Oh God, what are they going to say?" So it all depends on the person interviewing. I don't feel interview should be
I have
all.
something that is funny that I want to say.
I want to
I
say
don't know if you want
it
to
too
talk.
because I want to say it and I'm going to say it. So
Yes,
yeah,
yes.
to digress, yeah, we had
Yeah.
what we're interviewing for our interns for Transition to Tech Academy, and we're part of the panel. And I was the smiling one, but
Okay.
Tricia was the squeezy one. Yes. Can you tell me what you have been doing in the past 5 years? So Tricia, I hope you are learning.
So the truth is, if you want to
Oh
get
my
the best
goodness.
out of them, right?
No,
The
that's let me tell you, this thing you said,
Mm,
one person tweeted one of the, I'll make reference because I always see some tweets about
yeah.
jobs and all.
Okay.
Said they made a compliment to one of the HR person, and the person felt really angry.
Yeah, it's
Like,
the person.
that's
It's about the person. People project their insecurities on you.
Mm.
Yes, because
okay.
if I say you're good looking, you're telling me what's the meaning of that? Why should it be a problem? So it's not about me complimenting you, it's the way you receive compliments. Maybe you have an issue with yourself that you don't take compliments, but the person didn't do anything wrong. So it's more of a self-awareness thing.
No, I think
What
it's
about virtual interview?
yeah. Sorry, I'm going to say. Oh, okay. I'm going to say that I think it's a Nigerian thing, and because I've
Mm,
worked in a Nigerian environment and in the Western world, Nigerian bosses tend to want to be the Lord and Master. So you
yeah.
can, why are you complimenting me? I did
Yeah.
an interview. I did an interview, and I said to the interviewer, "Oh, you have such a lovely voice." It was a telephone interview, and I can bet you, I'm sure that is what got me the
The
role.
job. You
Yes.
see?
So you see, as oh, your voice is so lovely, just trying to relax the mood, be confident, and all of that, like you have said. And yeah, it got me the role. So I just feel it's a Nigeria thing. And correct me if I'm wrong. If you do compliment a and maybe a white person in an interview, I assure you, the interview is going to go smoothly. So
Mm.
Nigerian employers, if you are here, people should, people should be calming down.
It's not that deep.
It's not that
It's not that deep, honestly.
Okay.
we've got here Roman saying he agrees that appearance does matters as well as the confidence. Very important. A recruiter once told me that Judy, even if you don't know the questions, go there with confidence. Yeah,
Yeah.
even those what she said, I will quote her verbatim. She said, even if you're saying rubbish, say that
Say
rubbish
it
with
confidently.
confidence.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what she told me.
Wow.
And very
Okay, let me
important.
shock you, Judy. Let me shock you. Do you know that sometimes you're being interviewed by people who don't know what you're about to do?
Absolutely.
Whoa.
You just go there and bamboozle them.
Yeah.
Just go and say it confidently.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm telling you. Most
Mm,
times, the people who are interviewing you don't have a technical knowledge of what you're going to
mm,
do. They
mm,
just have interview is quite. We have the basic. You can just ask
mm,
what you want to do,
mm,
where do you see yourself in 5 years. Anybody can
mm,
ask those questions. But then
mm,
let's come to your tech now. And they're saying,
mm.
okay, that I may not know anything. But then the way I will ask you the question, you said that knows will not be fidgeting, and me that doesn't know because I have the confidence
You
that
know,
I'm an interviewer, you will not
Yeah.
even be doubting yourself. You understand? So the
So yeah,
confidence actually plays a whole, it plays a major role.
very major
Yeah.
role. Yeah. Okay. Um, Professional etiquette is very important. So, Mabel is saying back in Nigeria, we rejected the candidate for sagging. How now,
Bragging.
candidate?
How did he even get there? Like he crossed the gates.
Do you understand? Do you understand?
Yes,
Candidate, people
no.
should do better. Please. Very, very, this is very, very interesting. I'm just looking at the time. Oh, we're almost done. And I don't want
Almost
it
done.
to
That's what I
end.
just checked.
But yeah, my son even had to come and tell me that, Mom, you're too loud, because I'm excited that the conversations are going on very, very well. Yeah. So, one last question. Yeah. After the interviews, and I've seen this happen sometimes, yeah, that okay, they come back to you and they say, you do an interview and they, okay, we're going to get back to you in another 2 3 days, and you don't hear from them. What do you think you should do at that point? Do you write to them? I've had this experience where I went for an interview. The interview went well. I'm sure I was going to ace that interview, but I didn't hear from them. 2 days later, I sent them. I didn't hear from them. In fact, I was praying that I hope the person did not die, because I cannot just understand why you go mute like that. But why does stuff like that happen? And what is your next step of action to take when you have such a situation?
Well, it's quite simple. You still give a follow-up mail,
Mm,
especially when they're giving you a timeline.
mm,
So first of all, you need to respect the timeline. Don't send the mail before the timeline
okay.
is over, because then I can get upset because I told you I will get back to you in 7 days. 2 days later, you're sending me, I'm like, okay, leave me alone. I don't want to hire you again now. Leave me. You know that. So always wait. If there's a timeline, give it till that timeline elapses. Then you give a follow-up mail. If there's
So
no time,
So are you saying that we should always ask, when will you get back to me, so we can know if we should
yes,
follow up?
before you leave.
No. Are you
Yes,
serious?
yes, you can. Okay, she says, I'll get back to you. Okay, ma'am, when do I expect to hear from you? You can
Yeah.
even propose. Okay, 3 days, 4 days. You
Mm,
can, yes, you can.
Wow.
Yes.
Just learned
Because you
one.
want to live with, a definite answer, no, like, okay, you're a timeline. Do you understand? Because
mm,
that's not the only job you're working on. Do you
yeah,
understand? So it's good to ask.
yeah, okay, right. Okay. And also, when they ask you, are there any other questions for me? And you say, no, 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 everything is fine. How do you perceive that kind of person in an interview situation?
Mm, I want to call it not intelligent, but you should be able to ask questions. It's a new place.
Hmm.
I've
See,
actually interviewed for
if
a
you have
job,
to if you have
and
to
then
hunt
the
for
boss told me, no, I'm saying I've actually interviewed for a job. The man told me, you don't have to ask a question if you don't want to ask.
why,
I think it was just
maybe he just wanted to cut
But
it
I
off
had
so
to
that
ask.
he had
But
time
before he,
or something.
yeah, go
he was
on,
trying
go
to
on.
test you. Hope you did not fall for his trick.
Yes, it
No,
could be
I
a
asked the
test.
question. I definitely went ahead to ask. But then,
Mm.
I think they want to just throw you off. He was like, any other question? Do you have any question for me? But mind you, you don't have to ask if you don't have anything to ask. In my head, I'm like, oh, I'm going to go like me. You cannot go.
And
And
you
then
had
I asked.
prepared. I'm sure you had prepared your questions, right?
Yeah.
Mm.
Like one question
But
I would,
even,
mm,
go
one
on,
question
Charlie.
I like, as in that anybody should ask is very. Some people will say, why ask that? Some people will say, don't ask it. But in everything, I'll rather you ask. So now you say, this position I'm feeling, if you don't mind me asking, what challenge was the previous person in it facing
Mm.
that I'm coming to, what challenge am I coming to deal with in this
Please let
position?
me take my pen out my
Now,
paper and write it
Let me
down.
take that down.
do you understand? So that
Mm.
the position that you want to ask, like the biggest technical challenge that person has faced in this role now you're currently feeling, because somebody was there before you. For the person to have left, it could be that the person, so many things, it could be bad, it could be good.
Mm.
Do you understand? But then they may never tell you the bad part. They just tell you, oh, you just wanted to do this. But then it's also good you ask.
Mm.
Do you understand? And
Mm.
again, you now want to, another question that you could also ask is, how is your growth going to be measured in this company.
Mm.
Yes, I've always learned that one.
Yes, because some places don't have room for growth. So you want to really know, is this where I have a future? Or is this
Mm.
some place I'll just stay, maybe give myself 1 year max and I'm looking for the next available role, that kind of thing. So it just
Yeah.
gives you, an idea of what you should look out for.
I'm actually very conscious of the time, and thank you, Ada. But there's
You're
this
welcome.
one question I want to ask, and I see it a lot
Okay.
on social media where they say, "Oh, you should negotiate your job." I've never had the opportunity of negotiating my pay,
Okay.
but what do you think about stuff like that? I don't know. I see it a lot. I don't know if it's maybe just in the US where they negotiate how much they're going to be paid. But what are your thoughts on that? And sometimes, okay, let's not even say I've never been given the opportunity to negotiate, but
Mm-hmm.
sometimes in the initial stages where they ask you, what
What's
are
your
your
salary
expectations?
expectation?
Yeah, what are your expectations? How should you
Mm.
price yourself? Sometimes I would say, okay, I would throw the question back to them and ask them, what are you offering? You get, and you're able to just give a range. But what should
Benchmark,
be the,
yeah.
yeah, what
That
should be
what
the
you did is
response?
very good. Yes. When they ask you what's your salary expectation, first of all, before you go in for any job interview, you need to review the pay range for that role.
Mm,
Go on Glassdoor, go on what all these what's it called? Go on LinkedIn, go on what's it called? Levels where you can find
glass though.
Glassdoor, yes, levels dot FYI, what's it called? LinkedIn salary insights. You can check.
Mm,
Yes, you can just look to just see what's the position of like the position you're applying for. What's the salary range? Just to
mm,
give you an idea. But then again, your experience and your exposure plays a major role in the salary you should be getting. Now, maybe let's say EAs, let's say executive assistants, maybe their salary range is 100 to 150, but you've been there all this while, like you've done for 10 years. And in fact, in your previous job role, you were getting 500.
mm,
You don't want to come now to this job and are you going to reduce it to the 100? And do you understand? So that should
Mm-hmm.
also count for it. Then one other thing they do, so like what you said you do is actually a great thing. So you throw the question back at them and say, okay, please, what's the salary range for this position I'm applying? Now
mm,
in Nigeria, it's looked at as no, just tell me. In fact, in Nigeria, it's your previous salary that determines your present salary most
mm.
of the time.
Yeah.
Yes. So they always ask that question, what was your previous salary? Not because they want to match it or they want to exceed it. They want to just give you a top up. So it's like I left a job of 500 and I'm coming to this new job. They ask me what are my salaries, was your previous salary? You're
Mm.
not under any obligation to disclose it.
Okay.
Yes,
Oh, okay,
yes.
okay.
You're not under any obligation to disclose it. You can tell them, oh, I'd rather not share, but I would like to find out that all the job description, that whatever you're going to be paid is going to be what the job you're going to be doing, so that the past, my past positions pay has nothing to actually do with this. So it's based on what I'm currently doing that I'm going to be paid on. And also the company's pay structure, because they will not pay you more than they want to pay you. That's the truth. Because every company, the way they pay is based on their lifeline, their life cycle. Do you understand? We have startups, we have mid-level, we have, different companies at different
Advanced.
ranges.
Yeah.
An EA in a startup may be taking 50, an EA in NNPC may be taking 1 million.
Mm.
Doesn't mean that the startup is doing badly, but that's what she can afford. So
But
you
yeah,
also know where
I
you
want
are.
to ask. I want to
Mm,
ask a question. Sorry to interject,
yeah.
but okay. So if I give my salary range, I'm very experienced, right? And I'm going to give you my salary range. Don't you think, because I know what I'm worth, don't you think that would, at, take me off because, of course, they cannot afford to pay that kind of money.
Network.
So wanted
Hello? Sorry,
to
Judy, I lost you for some time.
all right.
Hello, can you
Okay.
hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, I
Can you
can't
hear
hear
me?
you.
Can you hear me, Tricia?
Yes, I can.
Oh, okay.
Ada, I
Hello,
can hear you
Judy.
also. I think her network
Okay, I
went
can
off
hear
and
you
then
now.
she
I
couldn't hear.
can hear you
All
now.
right.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Yes. So what I was saying was that, okay, I'm very experienced, right? And I'm worth thousands of dollars.
Dollars.
And
Yes.
the company cannot afford to pay me that, but I say, okay, no, you have to pay me $100,000. Don't you think that will knock me off the whole process? And maybe I'm worth $100,000, but right now I've been jobless for, let's call it, 3 months, and I really need this job. Yeah. Don't you think saying, "Oh, this is what I'm worth and this is what I should be getting," would
No,
not
that's why
help
I
me?
said the most logical is to ask them the job range, as in the pay range for the role you're applying.
Mm,
Do you understand? They all every company has a pay. They will not pay you more than that range they have put out to
mm,
pay. That's the truth. That's why I said you need to ask what is the job range. So now you're not giving them your own job range.
mm,
As they're giving you your job range, you are the one now to measure it. Where do I now fall? Is this below what I want to take, or is it
mm,
above it? And when they
mm,
give you, if it's something you want to take, definitely you say, okay, I could do this
mm,
because
mm,
of this. If it's something that is way below, oh, I would love to do this. However, um, I believe I should earn more than this. Do you understand? So
mm,
that's where the conversation now comes in, because no company will pay you more than what they've already proposed to pay. No
mm,
matter how, except they want to now, they may now go and have a meeting and say, okay, this person is too good. Could we, move this pay a bit? Because it happens sometimes. There's no cast in stone thing. If you find the
mm,
person you're looking for and the pay you put, the person cannot accommodate, and the company has a budget to top up, fine, they'll do it.
mm.
It all
Okay.
depends on the value you bring and if they see the
We've gone past our time, but the conversations are just, mind blowing, mind blowing.
Blowing.
Yeah, and thank you very much, Ada, for lots of insights you've given to us. One last question from Roman. It says, "What about applicants looking for an internship? Should they be leaning towards unpaid roles or very low pays? Of course, interns cannot ask for much. What are your thoughts on that?" They cannot. He has asked a question. He has answered
He
it.
has answered
That's
it
what it.
exactly, because you're going there to learn. They're the ones even giving you.
Hmm.
So it's been given, and most of the intern role, most times, is just it's like a stipend. It's not really a pay per se. It's like
Yeah.
a stipend, just to help you with basic transportation. And if you get one that is like
Mm.
that, then it's fantastic, because most of them are free, because it's actually the company giving out their information to you.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah, very important. I've learned a lot, and I hope everyone here has gone away with a thing or two. While we do the wrap up, let us go on for our giveaway. We've got 8 people here who have put in for the hashtag Tech Talk. I'm just going to give us 1 more minute. If you are here and you would like to join in for our giveaway, please do the hashtag Tech Talk so that you can be entered in for the draw. Please put the hashtag Tech Talk and gone. So I'm going to share my screen right now, and yep, share screen. Yeah, can everyone see my screen, Tricia?
Yes, I can.
Confirm. All right. So we're gonna do our draw right now. All the best to all the contestants.
No, you've not started.
I have.
Really?
Yeah, we've got Mark
Hey,
OKK.
Mark.
Congratulations. I'm gonna take a
Congratulations.
screenshot right now.
Mm,
Um,
that's so sweet.
so Mark, if you're still here, can we see you type something in the comment section so we can be sure you're still here with us?
I
Um,
think it's on YouTube. I'm looking at him from
Yeah,
YouTube.
it's on
Yeah.
YouTube, but if he's still here, oh, he has said thank you. So, if you can, I don't know how we're going to connect with you. So, if you're following us on YouTube, sorry, if you're here, if you have a LinkedIn account, please can you send me a message? I'm going to just type in my um my name here. So you can follow me on LinkedIn and um, send me a message so that you can get a free bootcamp training. But we have a last week was the one for the International Women's Day, and we have to get a woman winning another one. So we got one woman last week. We have to have another woman winning. I'm just going to do another draw. Hopefully, we have got another woman winning. So I'm going to. Is my screen still being shared? Yeah,
Yeah.
Yes.
we'll do another draw. Woman, 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 woman. What's wrong with this thing?
Ah,
One more draw because transition to tech academy cannot win their own giveaway. Hopefully, it's a woman who gets it this time. Robot. All right, so I think the system is not allowing a woman win this time. So yeah, we're going to do is that we are going to, you know, we've got two winners. Yeah. Roman is going to get the voucher, Amazon voucher, because he's all the way in Lithuania, and Roman is already in the tech space as a software tester. Except he wants to learn data analysis. But yeah, I'll get it across to you, Roman, and Mark. If you can send me a message on LinkedIn, I have pinned my LinkedIn details to this to the screen. So if you're on LinkedIn, send me a message to my LinkedIn profile, and we'll get talking. If you're not on LinkedIn, if you can follow Transition to Tech Academy on Instagram,
Facebook. Your Facebook.
yeah, my Facebook or Instagram, and also send me a message. Yeah, I'm going to yeah, on Instagram is at Transition to Tech Academy 2 as a number 2 Tech Academy. Please follow us so that you can stand a chance. Oh, sorry, we can get talking on how you can get your gift. So I've stopped sharing right now and back to our special guest of honor. How can we repay you for this secret that you are giving to us like this for free? Wow. As in, I've taken a lot. I don't know about anybody. I have taken a lot from this particular episode, episode 13. Um, I've taken a lot, yeah. So yeah, Decoy says she really wants a free trading. Sorry. I'm going to tag it here. Decoy says she really wants a free trading.
Okay, so it was supposed to be Mark and Decoy,
No,
or
Mark and
who?
Roman.
Okay, for the boot camp.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but we'll
Decoy,
talk.
oh yeah, okay.
So you're
Decoy,
gonna say
maybe
something.
next week. I'm going to say she should probably put in earlier next week so that we still have the whole of March.
Yeah, yeah, but yeah, that is it. We'll discuss off camera. Diko is part of Transition to Tech Academy. I don't even know why she's hustling for free training. But yeah, I just want to say thank you, Ada. It has been very
you're welcome.
insightful, very
You're
insightful,
welcome.
and I hope when we call on you again to come and give us more secrets, you will be willing to come and give us secrets. Can everybody in the audience, can we just say thank you, Ada? Can
We
we
just
say
say thank
thank
you.
you, Ada?
Pleasure, pleasure, my pleasure.
Yeah,
You know, there's something I wanted to wrap up with, right? You know, you said something about you guys have been telling stories.
yeah.
You know, it's quite, how do I say it? It's quite funny that even in the interviews now, storytelling is what is selling.
Mm,
Wow.
Yes, there's a technique we call the anchor and bridge.
mm,
So instead of just telling me what you do, tie a story to it and bridge it to my company's needs.
mm,
Hmm.
So storytelling has entered every, like, I don't think there's anybody that is being spared. Everybody is now telling stories.
mm.
And even the interviewers want to hear your story.
A story will always,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it will always sound like I remember when I used to do interviews. Okay, there was a time when I was in my other company and I did
Mhm.
that. Very
Yeah.
important.
And then
Yeah,
I almost wanted to ask one very very fast. We've gone way past our time.
Yeah.
Does age bracket have anything to do with getting a job role?
Of
Especially
course.
when they tell you fresh graduate and all of that. And then
It
you know that
does.
this fresh graduate, they don't have experiences, and then you have older people that have experiences and all of that. Because I think the difference between the Western and here is they seek more of experience than the age, right, Judy?
very correct. For in the
Yes.
Western world, age has
Mhm.
nothing to do with if you're going to get a job or not. No.
Or not.
Yeah.
Okay. The only places that really specify age is it all depends on the like how will I say, there are some jobs, right, that let's assume hostess, there are some categories of job that are age specific. You know what they
Mm,
call, like, let's use for the air hostesses.
mm,
They'll say between 18 to maybe 25, and they always put those age because by that time you may not be married, because it takes them all around. You can't be saying my child is this, my child, you will not fly, that
mm,
so there are some jobs that actually are age, like they are age centric. It has to
yeah.
do with age. It's not like every job. And again, it depends on the kind of office. Some people want entry level people, some people want experienced people, because if you want experienced people, you have to pay more now. So it also depends on your capacity as an organization too. Yes.
Yeah. And I think it's
Thank
quite
you.
unfair, even if you are looking at age, it's quite unfair for you to put it out there. I want ages between this to this. You can have that at the back of your mind that okay, we want young people, but I don't
Mhm.
think it's right for you to, throw a candidate out just because it doesn't fit an age bracket. Some people
No,
go to
but if
school
they
late
put
in
it
life.
out there, if it has been put out, except they've not put it in the job like
Description.
description,
Yeah.
like in the job posting. But if they put it out there, then it's what they want. Like if you notice, some people will say, "I want more of women for gender balance." Maybe they have more of males in their organization, and you have to try to make it. Equity has to play a role. So now, if I'm putting out a job posting, I will say preference to females, because maybe I have majority of men and I'm trying to balance it out. So that's why they categorize hair, all those things.
I still think it's not right for you to have that out there in your back end. At the panels, you can know what you actually want. We're looking for women, right? You can tell the recruiter to okay, get me more women in front
No,
of
but
me.
it's right. It's
Yeah,
actually, it's not, is a corporate, is right, because for the fact you did not just put it. See, there's a clause to it. That's why they will always say for gender equality. They won't just put it women, because if you just put it like that, it's going to look as if it's a bias.
mm,
Do you understand?
mm.
Because we always talk about diversity, inclusivity, and equity. So sometimes people, you go to an office, they're only males. It means you're not giving the women a chance. So now, if I want to bring in, I will not still recruit males again.
Yeah,
I
but that is a question for another day. We are already gone past our
I
time.
was going to say, I'm going
We
to
invite
definitely
you
invite
again to
you
come
because
and
we have
come and
a
talk.
whole lot to talk about.
Yeah, we are going to invite you again. Surely we are going to
sure.
invite you again. Thank you very much, Ada.
You're welcome.
Never a
Tricia,
dull moment with
let's hear
you.
your gratitude.
Ada, thank you so much. It's never a dull moment with you. See me now, I just brought in questions. Like we could go on and on and on. A whole
Yeah.
lot of people. I'm sure so many people will go home with something today. See now, we had to start jotting down. Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Please, when we call you again, please honor us. I
I,
beg.
I
It
will.
is just
Thank you.
everything you've told us today is a take home, and I'm sure it will help us in
Thank you.
whatever role we're going to. Thank you so much.
It's
Over
my
to you,
pleasure.
Yeah,
Judy.
Thank you for having
I'm
me.
just pinning all the comments from our guests. Everybody saying thank you,
Yeah, it's my
thank
pleasure.
you, thank you. Someone said very informative, and I agree. Thank you. Someone says today was awesome. I agree 100%. Someone is saying thank you for the tips, ma'am. Thank you.
Pleasure.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you. That's
Thank
all I
you,
can
Judy.
say.
Thank you, Patricia. Thank you
Thank
to the
you.
team, teacher
Yeah.
tech. You guys are doing an amazing job, I must say.
Thank you.
I'm honored to be here, to be a
Thank
part of it
you.
today.
Yeah. So until we come again next time, same place next week, it's bye from us. Bye.
Bye,
Bye.
everyone.
Bye.